Looking at Draftstars picks here for the Knights Broncos $20,000 prize pool. And this game here is going to be won or lost in the outside backs. Very, very clear in this one. You've got so many guys that we're not sure about. Gags comes back and has probably been the best scorer, well, definitely the best scorer out of all these guys with an average of 49. But he comes back from injury in his first game back. And do we think he can come back strong? The Knights came out with a win on the weekend. Broncos have been rolling, been doing really well. And some great scores from guys like Selwyn Cobbo and Corey Oates. If you wanted to, and you think that they could win again and get some nice tries for those two outside backs, and those could be the way to go. And you can spend that money elsewhere. The Cobbo and Oates combo. If you want to go Gags, he obviously has that high potential to go really high. Same with Ponga, but he just hasn't been doing it lately. Katoni Staggs, this is the other one that I'd be looking to select at 13,860. And I think you need to probably go for one of Cobbo and Oates, and I think Cobbo's probably your man this week. Having that little bit more upside, given he's that young fella who's finally had a couple of good games in a row, but he's been feeling himself a little bit and doing really well. So I think one of those guys, and then potentially one of the Stags, Ponga, and Gags will be your way to go in this game here for the 20,000 guaranteed prize pool. If you're new here, guys, hit that sign up button in the description below. We'll get you in there and then get you playing straight away. It'll take you straight to the website for you. All right, so the halves and hookers, and I think Adam Reynolds is a clear top pick. There's no other guy I'd be looking at in here. The only way you'd be looking at other guys would be potentially a Billy Walters as a flex guy. But you have to pick Reynolds. There's no other way, shape, or form about it. You have to do it. All right, if we go to the forwards, then you've obviously spent up a little bit of money in the halves, and depending how much you've done in the outside backs, you probably have a decent amount to spend here. And I think there's a few guys that you should be looking at. And Mitch Barnett's going to spark my eye for this first one at 17,200. He moves to the 13 role, and he had a really, really big game in the second row last week at 69.6. And I think he can get somewhere around the 50 mark at a minimum here in the middle, playing some big minutes. So I think he's the one you got to look to target around that 17,000 mark. And obviously Payne Haas, I think, is probably still a decent idea to avoid him. And I'd probably go for Clemmer for that $2,000 less, who's been scoring awesomely in the last three games especially, but 4 of the last 5, with the 44 being his low. And if you can get anywhere above that 55 mark, then you get plenty out of David Clemmer there. The reason we're avoiding Haas is just he's carrying that little bit of an injury. His minutes have been down a little bit. I spoke about Carrigan last week as being a great pick. I still think he's a good one, but probably not the great pick that we went for last week. He obviously scored okay in that 46.9, but very similar to what he got in round 2. Whereas he has an opportunity to get somewhere in the mid-50s to 60s. But will that happen this week? I'm not exactly sure. Depends how much they beat up the Knights. If they come out and dominate, then he's not going to get the tackling numbers that we're going to need from him. And that was the issue last week. So if you think this is going to be a closer game, I think Carrigan's going to do really well. If you don't, then I would probably look to avoid him a little bit. Fleggs has had a couple of really good games. 15,200, a 46.5, and a 50 now. He's really getting back into his work. Some decent minutes, but the PPM's been the real highlight there. Really, really high for Flegler's PPM. And a 15-2, if you have that kind of cash, then I'll be looking to pick him up for sure. And a little bit lighter, obviously, Corey Jensen, someone I've been picking each and every week. And 11,790, he's increasing his price a little bit, but the scores are doing him justice. A 38 and a 43, and 2 of his last 3 is the right way to go about it. Anyone lower, I would only be looking at Matty Kroko, who continues to get some decent minutes and scoring well. So 28.9 and a 39.3 at the $9,000 clip. I don't think you can go wrong with Matty Kroko. So that's our video, guys. That's my picks for this game. I'll be playing. I wish you all the best of luck, and we'll catch you in Friday's video. See you later.